Good morning, planet Earth. Thank you very much for tuning in today to the QcCubed Space Station. My name is Eric Staubus, and I am the QcCubed Space Coach. This is video number 1 in a series of 7 videos that I've designed to introduce you to the intelligent energy of space. I like to begin each video with a statement of the truth which I discovered, the new truth which I discovered in 1979. And that is the simple fact that the source of the energy that moves particles through space is space itself. Space fills the universe. You can look out in endless billions of light years away at any of the billions of galaxies that fill this universe, and the space that's out there, billions of miles away, is the same as the space that's between Earth and the Moon. It's the same as the space that's between me and the camera and me and you, wherever you are. And that space is full of energy. And that energy moves all the particles in the universe. So, that's a brief statement of the new truth that I discovered about space in 1979. The source of the energy that moves particles through space is space itself. And I'm going to begin this series of lectures by deriving the formula that I discovered as a result of that discovery. So, we assume space is empty, and it's full of energy. So, we've been relying on that assumption ever since we began using that assumption as infants when we were learning how to walk, trying to hold on to solid objects and pick ourselves up and navigate through places where there were no objects, which we realized at that early stage was empty space that we could walk through, and then that's how far back the memory goes as to what our primary assumption is about space. But today I'm going to introduce you to a truth about space that very few of us realize, but which I believe is going to be crucial to our survival on the planet Earth, okay? So, the first step in this deriving the formula, after we realize that space is full of energy, radiant energy, okay? Electromagnetic radiation is moving constantly through this, what we perceive as the emptiness of space. And quantum physics tells us that the density of this energy is equal to the cube of the frequency. You know what waves are. Waves have a length, they have a power, and they have a wavelength, and they have a frequency. Okay, and so from quantum physics we learn that the energy density of space is equal to the cube of the frequency. So we use the Greek letter nu, and we cube it, and that nu cubed represents the energy density of space. In step 2, we realize that energy density is energy per unit of volume, or E over V. Look at this beautiful equation. This is the famous Einstein-Planck equation for light. C equals lambda times nu. C represents the velocity of light. Lambda represents the wavelength. And nu represents the frequency. So in step 3, we write out the Einstein-Planck equation of light. And in step 4, we're going to rewrite the equation simply by dividing both sides by lambda and then rearranging it so that we have nu is equal to c divided by lambda. And we're going to call this the frequency-dependent equation of light, okay? Now let's move on to step 5. There was this fascinating discovery made 100 years ago about the particle-wave duality of light. And because of that, we can also consider the energy of the radiation by... Well, there's a particle for every wave and a wave for every particle, and we can determine the volume of the particle's energy by cubing the wavelength. That's what I've done here. This represents the cube of the wavelength, so lambda cubed is the volume of the particle's energy that's associated with the wave, okay? In the 6th step, we're going to observe that energy per unit of volume, E over V, is equal to energy per unit of volume, or E over lambda cubed. Now in step 7, we're going to cube the frequency-dependent equation of light. So we've got nu cubed is equal to c cubed divided by lambda cubed. And in step 8, we're going to multiply both sides of the equation by q, which in this case represents the proportionality constant of intelligence. Now, in step 9, here's where we make the magic happen. Okay. We're going to assert that energy per unit of volume is equal to energy density, in this time multiplied by Q, which is equal to QC cubed over lambda cubed. We're going to take that middle term out and just say that E over lambda cubed is equal to QC cubed over lambda cubed. The lambda cubes cancel, and the final equation that we're left with is E, the energy of the universe, is equal to QC cubed. Q is intelligence, and c cubed is the cube of the velocity of light. That's a new equation that adds intelligence to the universe, because this is a spiritual universe. We are surrounded by intelligence, and this needs to be brought into our thinking so that we can utilize that intelligence for a lot of important issues that confront us now. Anyway, that's the end of video number 1. I want to thank you very much for tuning into the QcCubed space station. You probably got here by pushing the button on my new website, QcCubed.com. Thank you very much, and I hope you will join me for video number 2. Thank you very much.